Hello, lovely people. I'm Stella from Stella's Yarn Universe. Welcome to part 1 of my Peacock crochet tutorial. So, finally, the pattern for this guy is ready. Thank you so much for your patience. Those of you who've been subscribed for a while, first of all, thank you so much for being here, and thank you to anyone new here. Welcome. Yeah, the peacock was the winner of my last poll on what to crochet next. But it took me quite a while to create a version that I was happy with. And honestly, at some point I thought, what did I get myself into? But now I'm really glad that I accepted the challenge and that I came up with a version that I'm happy with and happy to share with you. So this project is quite time consuming, so it will be divided into different parts. In this video, we focus on the body and the neck, and so the following video tutorials will come out every week, so you can watch out. I will post them on the same weekday around the same time, so you can look out for those. And if you prefer working with the written pattern in addition to the video or instead of the video, you can find the PDF pattern in my Etsy shop and Ravelry shop. The links are down below. And there is also a Ribbler version of the pattern, and you will also find the link below in the description box. So I'm super excited to crochet this with you. Thank you so much for being here. Without further ado, let's get started. So these are the materials we'll need for our peacock. And so you can use either DK light worsted yarn or 4-ply fingering yarn. Last time I only used Shapiest Katona, which I believe falls into the category of 4-ply or fingering weight yarn. So that worked really well. But this time I'll be using kind of a mix of both. They're almost identical in thickness, so it should work with the DK yarn as well. So this time I'm using a mix of different DK yarns. This is Paintbox Yarns Cotton DK, DK double knit yarns are the equivalent to light worsted yarn. And then I'll also use some Rico Creative Amigurumi DK. I just prefer using what I have instead of always going and buying new yarn when I still have the right colors to use. So I encourage you to do the same. To me, that's what makes it more fun, rather than hoarding so much yarn that we never use. For the wings, because I wanted them to be kind of like a brown creamish tone, I used this Shapiest stone washed yarn, which is also DK or light worsted, and I'll write down in the description box which color this is. I don't remember at the moment. And then for the embroidery of the eyes of the feathers, I also used Shapiest Katona, so 4-ply fingering yarn. So you could use that, or even DK light worsted yarn should work as well. So for this, we need like an ochre tone and a turquoise or aquamarine, something like that. And yeah, the other colors are, as you can see, blue for the body, green for the train of feathers, and then brown and orange for the wings. And so with this, we'll use a 2.5 millimeter hook, so something in between a C2 and B1. I think C2 should be fine for most of you, but if you tend to crochet quite loosely, a B1 would work better. And then we need embroidery floss in white and black for the eyes and the pattern around the eyes. And we need a yarn needle. That's what we use for sewing together body parts, but also for embroidering the train of feathers. And then we need a large-eyed sewing needle for embroidering the eyes. And we also need craft wire. This is 1 millimeter thick, and we use this for the legs as well as for reinforcing the train so that it that it all holds up nicely together in the end. We also need some fiber fill, just for the body and a bit for the neck, and scissors, of course, some pins, and stitch markers. And if you have flat pliers like these, they might be helpful when shaping the feet, but don't worry if you don't have them. I believe you'll get by without them. And then the glue is to kind of style the crest on the head in the end. And also you can apply a drop of glue to the legs to make them be more sturdy and hold their position, so the peacock will be able to stand in the end. So these are all the materials we need. So let's get started. So we begin with our blue yarn, and we start with a magic ring. So you can just use any preferred magic ring method. And then we make 6 single crochet in the magic ring. Now we can place a stitch marker in the last stitch. It's a trick I learned from one of you talented people, so thank you so much. Now we close the magic ring. And remove the stitch marker. So now it will be much easier to crochet in this first stitch. In round 2, we make 6 increases, 1 in each stitch. So 2 single crochet in each stitch. Now our round has 12 stitches. In round 3, we make a single crochet in the next stitch, and then increase in the next stitch. So 2 single crochet in the next stitch, and we repeat this 5 more times, 6 times altogether. 1 single crochet, 1 increase, 1 single crochet, 1 increase. And we finish with an increase. So now our round has 18 stitches. And in round 4, we continue increasing. We start with 1 single crochet again, then increase in the next stitch, 2 single crochet in there, then we single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and increase in the next. And we repeat this 4 more times, 5 times altogether. 2 single crochet and 1 increase. 2 single crochet and 1 increase. And then we finish the round with 1 single crochet. So now our round has 24 stitches. And in round 5, we keep increasing. So this time we single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then we increase in every 4th stitch. So we repeat this 5 more times, 6 times in total. So that will end up with 30 stitches. So that's 1 single crochet, 2, 3, and then increase. 1, 2, 3, and increase. And we finish the round with our last increase. So now we have 30 stitches in the round. And in round 6, we increase a little more. So here we start with 2 single crochet, then we have 1 increase, then we have 4 single crochet, and we increase in the next stitch. and we repeat this 4 more times. 4 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, and increase. And again 4 single crochet, and 1 increase. So now we should have 2 stitches left in the round, and we'll make 1 single crochet in each. And that's round 6 done. Now we have 36 stitches. So in round 7, we create an opening out of which we'll later crochet the neck. So for this, we start with 8 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we skip the first 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we crochet in the 9th stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, so this here is the 9th stitch. You single crochet in there. And that's it. That's how we create the opening. Now we continue the round by making 1 single crochet in each stitch. So that's 28 altogether. This was the first, so we have 27 single crochet to go. You can pause the video here and finish the round in your own time. So this is round 7 done. Now in round 8, we start by single crocheting in each of these chains. So we start here in the first chain. And all we need to be careful of is picking up 1 loop, the back loop of the chain, so to speak, so that the front loop remains unworked in, because that's what we'll need to crochet the neck out of later. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 more to go. 8. And then we simply single crochet in the remaining 28 stitches. And then in rounds 9 to 11, the following 3 rounds, we'll simply single crochet in all 36 stitches. So you can pause the video here and finish this round as well as the next 3 rounds 9 to 11, and hit play once you completed them. Round 11 is complete now, and in round 12 we begin decreasing. So we start with 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, and then we make an invisible decrease. So we go in the front loop of the next stitch, pull our hook down to go in the front loop of the next stitch, pick up the yarn and pull it through the 2 front loops, and pick up the yarn and pull it through the 2 remaining loops. Now we single crochet in the next 4 stitches, 2, 3, 4, and we repeat this a series of stitches starting from the decrease 4 more times. So decrease and single crochet 4. Decrease, single crochet 4, one, 2, 3, 4, and now we should have 4 stitches left. So we make another decrease, and then we single crochet in the remaining 2 stitches. So now our stitch count is back down to 30, and in round 13 we single crochet in all 30 stitches. So you can pause the video here and hit play once you completed this round of 30 single crochet. Round 13 is done now. So I completed the round of 30 single crochet. Now in round 14 we continue decreasing, and so this time we start with 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and then we make a decrease, and we repeat this 5 more times, so that we'll have a stitch count of 24 in the end. And one more time, 1, 2, 3, and decrease. So now our round has 24 stitches, and in round 15 we simply single crochet 1 in each of the 24 stitches. So once again, you can pause the video and hit play once you completed the round. So this is my round of 24 single crochet done. So now is a good time to start filling. We can continue filling as we crochet more. Just starting now with this amount, that should be enough. So now in round 16 we decrease again. So this time we start with 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then we decrease, and single crochet in the next 2. Now we repeat the series of stitches starting from the decrease 4 more times. Decrease and single crochet 2. Decrease and single crochet 2. Now we should have 3 stitches left in the round, so we finish with 1 decrease and 1 single crochet in the last stitch. So our round has 18 stitches now, and in round 17 we single crochet 1 in each of the 18 stitches. And that's round 17 done. I'm gonna continue filling the body now. Of course, we can fill it later through this opening if needed. So that's enough for now. In round 18, we continue decreasing. Oh, sorry. Yes, round 18. That's right. So we continue decreasing. We start with a single crochet in the next stitch, and then we decrease. And we repeat this 5 more times all the way to the end of the round. 1 single crochet, 1 decrease. 1 single crochet, 1 decrease. Here the yarn is a bit wonky. Naughty, naughty, paint box yarns. One single crochet, one decrease, and once more, one single crochet, and one decrease. So now we're down to 12 stitches in the round, and in round 19 we will single crochet 1 in each of them. So 12 single crochet, and 12. So I think I'll do the rest of the filling through this opening here. That will be easier, because we only have one round to go for the body, round 20. And so in round 20 we simply decrease 6 times in a row. So for this I'd like to squeeze both sides together. That makes it a bit easier to do the invisible decreases. And that's one done. Two. Three. 4. Let's do that again. 5. There we go. And 6. So now we can fasten off. But before I close the round, I want to fill the body properly. That will make it easier to close it. And to weave in the yarn, and then so we want the body to be nicely filled. So you can use a generous amount of fiber fill. I think that's enough for now. We can still fill more while we crochet the neck. We don't want it to come out of here. That will make crocheting the neck a bit difficult. So this should be enough, and that's nice and firm now. So now we close the round. So we need our yarn needle. And then we go through the front loop of all 6 stitches, and we don't pull too tightly just yet. Now we can close it, and be careful if you're not using cotton yarn, because acrylic tends to break easily. And now that it's closed, we go through the center of the last round. And now we weave in the yarn end. So pull that in. And then we can just follow the pattern of the single crochet stitches to make it blend in as much as possible. One more. That's it. So we can cut this short. Give this a nice squeeze. And that's the body done. So now it's time to crochet the neck, and for this we'll again use the blue yarn. So now we rejoin the yarn at this opening here. So it doesn't really matter if we go through here or here. I'll just go through here because it's maybe a bit easier to see. So here we have the first skipped stitch that we made in, I believe it was round 7, and then the space next to it that is already crocheted in, which was the last stitch of the previous round. That's where we go in again to rejoin the yarn. And so we can just pull the yarn through and hold the end in place, maybe with our middle finger or whatever is comfortable for you, until it's nicely secured. And so we start the first round with 18 single crochet. The first 8 go in these 8 skipped stitches. So we just single crochet 1 in each of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's the first 8 done. Now the next one goes here in this space in front of the 8 chains that we made in round 7. So we're here where you can see the gap now. That's where we go in and make our 9th single crochet. That's it. Now we turn everything. Also this yarn end can be hidden inside. Now the next 8 single crochet go in the other side of the chains that we made here. So here we just need to make sure that we don't skip any, because they might be a little harder to see than the actual single crochet stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, the first one is always a bit tricky to find. So we don't want to skip the first one. There we go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this 17 single crochet done, and the last one goes here in this spot where we first joined the yarn. So we can just go in here and make the 18th single crochet and try not to work the fiber fill into the stitches. So that's round 1 of the neck done. In round 2 we already start decreasing slightly. We begin with 7 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we make a decrease. So going in the front loops of the next 2 stitches here on the side and crocheting them together. And now we repeat all of this. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we decrease. And that's round 2 done. So now our round has 16 stitches. Now before starting round 3, I will add more fiber fill. Now in round 3, we decrease a little more. So this time we start with 2 single crochet. 1, 2, and then we make a decrease. And we repeat this 3 more times. Two single crochet, and a decrease. Two more times, 2 single crochet, 1, 2, and decrease, and one last time, 2 single crochet, and we finished with a decrease. So now our round has 12 single crochet, and in round 4 we will single crochet 1 in each of them. So just a round of 12 single crochet. And once again, being careful with the fiber fill. And that's it. So now might really be the last chance to add more fiber fill, so I'm gonna do that. In round 5 we start with 1 single crochet, and then we make a decrease, and we repeat this 3 more times. 1 single crochet and 1 decrease. One single crochet and 1 decrease. One single crochet and 1 decrease. So now our round has 8 stitches, and in the next 3 rounds, rounds 6 to 8, don't bother with the stitch marker now. In rounds 6 to 8 we simply single crochet in all 8 stitches. So you can pause the video here and hit play once you completed 3 rounds of 8 single crochet. So this is round 6 and 8 complete, Now in round 9 we start increasing again for the head. So here we single crochet in the next stitch and increase in the next, and we repeat this 3 more times. 1 single crochet, 1 increase, 1 single crochet, 1 increase, and once more 1 single crochet and 1 increase. So now our round has 12 stitches, and in the next round we simply single crochet 12. So in round 10 we single crochet in all 12 stitches, and 12. So now we only have 1 round to go, and here, if you can, add a little fiber fill here. That will help us with embroidering the eyes later. If we can make the head as solid as possible. So I'm just making small portions. Just gonna use my little scissors here. Yeah, maybe some in the neck as well. So now in round 11, we make 6 decreases in a row. And so I'll just try to squeeze everything together again to get in the front loops. Trying not to work in this fiber fill that's peeking out there. It's 3, 4, 5, hiding that in there, and 6. So now we can pass off. And we need our yarn needle again. And as we did before, we go through the front loops of all 6 stitches now. Hey, who are you? and 6. So now we can pull that close. And then we go through the center of this last round. And if you have any gaps here where we joined the yarn, or where we started crocheting the neck, I should say, then we can use this remaining yarn end to close these gaps. So pull that nicely so that the head becomes flat on top, and then we weave in the yarn end, and meanwhile close these gaps if there are any. They're probably not too big. So that's the body and head done. So now we can go ahead and crochet the beak and attach it, and then embroider the eyes and attach the crest as well. So now it's time to crochet the beak. I think I forgot to tell you in the material section that you could use a very small amount of beige or light brown yarn for this, if you have any, but don't worry about it if you don't. This time I'm just using this ochre yarn that I will later use for the embroidery, and yeah, I'll just use the same one for the beak. So we make a slip knot so that we have a loop on our hook, and then we chain 2, and then we simply single crochet in the second chain from the hook. And that's it already. So we can fasten off now. So now we attach the beak. And so we want it to be centered on the front here between the last 2 rounds. So somewhere here. So now we need 1 or 2 pins. And just place it as centered as possible in between the last 2 rounds. Be careful not to poke your fingers with the pin. Just pointing that downward to the neck. And this one goes on the other side. So once you're sure that this is nice and centered, a little more to the left maybe. That's it. So now we take our yarn needle and thread one of the ends on it, and then we stitch through exactly here at the corner of the beak, and we go through somewhere on the back or near the chest. It doesn't really matter. If you have pliers, they come in handy now, but you can also pull the needle through with your hands, I'm sure. And now we repeat this with the other yarn end. And here we go. And stitch through the other side of the beak. Exactly where we want it to go. And now we go through to the same spot, removing the pins, the same spot where this yarn end is. So this is important. I just used hand cream, so my fingers are too slippery to pull out the needle. So now just make sure that it looks the way you want it to. Just take a look at it from all directions. And once you're happy, then you can tie these two yarn ends together with a double knot. And we cut them a bit shorter. And now we can hide them inside the body by just finding another spot to go through with the hook. And then we exit exactly at this space here where the yarn ends are, and we pull them inside the amigurumi with the hook. And just repeat until they are all hidden. There we go. And trying not to pull out any fiber fill. So that's the beak done. So now we can embroider the eyes. So for this we need our black and white embroidery floss and our large-eyed sewing needle and scissors. So we start with the white feathers around the eyes. So we take our white embroidery floss and we need about 70 centimeters, which are around 28 inches. So just choose one side to start with, and we begin here at the side of the beak. So I'm actually going to stitch through some of the fibers of the beak and then stitch through the head to the top of the head on this side of it. So if you look at it from the side, it's kind of centered. If you look at the side of the head, yeah, that looks all right. From the top, it looks like it's on the top, but on this side, on the right side. So now you pull the thread through, and we want to leave a long enough end so that we can hide it in the same way we did hide the ends for the beak. So this length should be enough. And now we repeat this same stitch once more, going through the same spots. And it's better to go and stitch through the fibers than stitching in between stitches. This way we have more control over where the stitch goes. That's why we're using a pointy sewing needle for this. So that's how it looks so far. Now we repeat this again. Same spot from the side to the beak to the top of the head. And it doesn't have to be exactly the same spot, just very close to it. Because we want to make this line a bit bolder. So now we go through the same spot here next to the beak, but this time we point toward the back of the head. Closer toward the back of the head. So it's, if you look at it from the side, it's like a horizontal line that the needle makes. And if you look at it from the top, you can see that it's still on the right side. So it's not exactly the back of the head, it's still on the right side. So this is how it looks so far. And now now we have 3 stitches here. Now we're making 3 stitches parallel to these, but they are kind of shifted toward the back. So you can see that the end of the stitch is here. So we also wanted to begin like a little shifted, not right underneath, but somewhere here. And there should be a small space in between the 2 white lines. So we can go through here. And the needle comes out at the same spot, or almost the same as before. So this is where it's going now. And now we repeat this 2 more times as well to make this line a little bolder. So go through the same spot or very close to it. And one more time. So this is how it looks so far. And with the next stitch, we connect these 2 points. So we go through here. And now we're getting ready to repeat all of this on the other side. So we have our needle exit at the other side of the beak. I'm trying to pick up a few fibers of the beak to further secure it. So this is where the needle goes. Again, my fingers are slippery, so I'm going to use the pliers, but hopefully you won't need them at this stage. And that's the white part done for this side. Now we can go ahead and repeat all of these steps on this side here. So we make 3 stitches to the top of the head, but on the left side this time. From the side of the beak to the top of the head. So now we're at the last few stitches. So this time the order is a bit different. So I just thought I'd show you making the 3rd stitch here now. And preparing to make the last stitch that connects these 2. So I'm going through the following this spot and this spot where the next stitch will go. So that's 3 stitches on top, 3 stitches on the bottom. And now we just connect the 2. And we can already go through to wherever we want to hide these thread ends. So I'll just go find a spot on the back again. So now we want to make sure that we go through in between stitches here. So try not to pick up any of the fibers. Now here the pliers definitely come in handy. And so our last white stitch here is done. And the end comes out here. So now we want to hide this end here as well in the same spot. And we didn't need as much thread, so I'm gonna correct this when I edit the video. So we stitch through the same spot, through to the same spot. So that we can tie the ends together as we did before with the ends of the beak. Cut them a bit shorter. And hide them. So this is the white part of the embroidery done. Now we do the black part. So now we need the black embroidery floss, about 30 centimeters, 12 inches. Should be enough. Our large-eyed sewing needle again. And we start on one side. Now we want to make stitch in between these white stitches. So I'm gonna go through here and almost all the way to the back where we made the white stitches. Pull that through, and here again we leave it long enough so that we can hide it later. And now I repeat this same stitch to make that line, that black line in between the white ones. There we go. Now I'm going to repeat this because I want to make it bolder, but the needle now exits in the center, top center of the whole embroidery, I would say. So here, that's where it comes out, the needle, in case you can't see. And this is where we want the actual eye to go. So that's where we make a few small stitches to embroider the actual eye. So now it comes out here in the center of the embroidery. And so now we make two small vertical stitches. I'm catching a few of these white fibers as well. And then the needle comes out next to the previous stitch to make these lines a bit bolder. And again, I go through next to the previous stitch to make this short vertical line a bit bolder. And we go through to the other side where we will start our embroidery on the other side. So somewhere in between these white stitches. Oh, poked myself a little. I hope this didn't happen to you. So this is one side done. Now we can repeat all of this on the other side. So 2 long horizontal stitches. And with the second one, we bring the needle to where we want to embroider the eye. With our 2 centered vertical stitches. So now it comes out at the center, and we can make our 2 short vertical stitches on top of these 2 horizontal back stitches, making 2 stitches very close to each other. That's 1. And with the second one, we can already stitch through to wherever we want to hide the ends. So first pick a spot here close to the previous one to finish the embroidery, and then we stitch through somewhere in between stitches. So try not to pick up any fibers here so that we can easily hide the ends. So that's the other side done. Now we're gonna bring this other end through to the same spot. So just somewhere very close to where it comes out of. Gonna insert the needle and bring it to this exact gap in between stitches here. Again, trying not to pick up any of the blue fibers in the stitches. And make a double knot. Then we cut the ends a bit shorter. And then we can go ahead and hide them. That's it. So that's the embroidery done. So now we can start making the crest on the top of the head, but you can also do this later. It's completely up to you. There are many more steps to do before that. So you can do it now or in the very end, up to you. If you want to do this later, you can just come back to it later. There are timestamps below. So you can easily find this section. For this, we only need maybe 10 centimeters of blue yarn and our yarn needle. And now we just want to attach this yarn end on the top of the head, further towards the back. So we just pick up 1 or 2 loops. We want it to be centered in between the eyes. Just pull this through, put it in the way so both ends are about equally long. And then we make a very firm double knot. And this will later become the crest. Now you can cut it at any desired length, maybe about 1 centimeter or 1.5. And we will finish this part later because now we still have so much to do. And later we can use some glue and separate the fibers and use some glue to fix the crest. This was part 1 of the Peacock tutorial. Thank you so much for watching and for crocheting along with me. Part 2 will drop on Sunday, or if you're watching this later, you can find the link in the description box below. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to turn on notifications so you won't miss any of my future amigurumi crochet tutorials. Thank you so much and happy crocheting!